Mile High Minute, #1 podcast in the universe. Really excited for this interview. We got Old Man Saxon, Denver, Colorado, man. I appreciate you for coming through.
No problem, man.
Denver's own.
That's
Like,
right.
I know you. I was just watching this No Jumper interview. And I know you were talking about how you don't necessarily want to be known for like putting Denver on the map, or
Yeah.
I don't know how to really word it, but
it's kind of along those lines.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, what I was saying in that interview is I've been getting people coming up to me being like, "Hey, how do we put Denver on the map?"
Yeah.
And that should not be any artist's priority. Like,
Okay.
that on your list of like priorities as an artist, making the best art should be number one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
If you come up to me and it's like, how do we put Denver on the map? The first question should just be like, yo, how did you get on that show? Like, how do I get in that position?
Yeah.
Then everything else will follow. Putting Denver's on the map. It's like by Wyoming. It's already there. Like,
it's already on the map.
Figuratively and literally. Like, don't trip about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want that to be my identity. And
Okay.
like I said, whenever there's like, if my goal is to put Denver on the map, then I am the Denver rapper.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to be known as.
I don't want that qualifier in my name.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the blank rapper. I just want to be
Old Man Saxon.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the utmost respect, I will say like you were doing a really good job of helping Denver get some more like praise.
That's the other thing is like I will never deny where I'm from. Like, I will say very confidently I'm from Denver, Colorado. Like, I take Denver wherever I go. Like the only way you get Old Man Saxon, this weird ass character, is if he's from Denver, Colorado. It's a weird ass place.
Yeah.
Interesting, weird.
No,
So that's where
Makes
I come
sense.
from. But yeah, I'm not.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate everyone that like appreciates me.
Yeah.
I appreciate them having honor in being from Denver. But as far as the art goes, the art comes first.
Hell yeah. All right, so let's just like kind of get in the beginning of your story. So, born in Denver?
Denver, Colorado, Rose General Hospital, yep.
Okay, what part of Denver did you grow up in?
Park Hill.
Park Hill, okay.
Like, it's kind of like the borderline between Park Hill and Stapleton.
Oh, okay.
I was born when like the Stapleton Airport was still around.
Oh, really?
And it was like there were planes like flying right over there.
Damn.
So, but yeah, Park Hill, Stapleton.
Do you remember like the Stapleton Airport?
Vaguely.
Yeah, I wasn't around for
that.
that.
I remember being like super young and like the house shaking because there's like airplanes right above.
Okay, so then, did you like have any other hobbies growing up? Like, what were you doing growing up? Was it always rap? Like,
nah, it was video games. It was video games for the longest time, and then I got a job testing video games, and it just ruined it for me. But it was video games, and I played football. And even when I realized recently about like playing football and shit, like it was never like a passion of mine to like I'm gonna be in the NFL. Yeah. I really appreciated like the team aspect of it. Like, even like now, it's hard for me to like just let anybody in on the Old Man Saxon thing because I really appreciate having people who understand the vision, and that team aspect will like really take you a long way.
Yeah, most definitely.
Football, video games. Yeah,
okay. All right, we're gonna have to cut a little part because I forgot to give you some water for the video.
Oh, tight.
Our sponsor. No problem. Yeah, you should hit. I'm sure they would love to work with you too. 3AM Water. They're also local.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the brand? What's the name?
It's 3AM Water. Yeah. Hydration for the go-getters.
3AM Water.
Yeah.
Hydration for the go-getters. I fuck with it.
Yep. Okay, so growing up, playing football, when does like rap kind of come about? Is it like while you're still in school growing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rap came about. Literally, the story is my brother, who's 6 years older than me, listened to a lot of E40. And,
okay.
Like, in an attempt to impress him, I would write down the E40 lyrics and then rap it back to him.
Oh, okay.
And in doing that, I realized like how dope his lyrics are, and I started trying to do that shit myself. And so, like the first real like crowd of people I rapped in front of was in middle school, at Smiley Middle School, and yeah, like I was battling this dude, Josh Johnson, and we used to battle for money.
Oh,
Still don't
damn.
know where people got money from. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What, and like, who were they betting on it? I don't know. But yeah, like, I was rapping in middle school.
That's crazy. I couldn't even imagine that. Like, just like real like rap battles in middle school.
Yeah, like middle school rap battles. That's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, that is. I remember in middle school, like we would do like little dance battles with like like the jerk and stuff for like my age group.
Yeah. How old are you?
21. Actually, I turned 22 on Wednesday though.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That doesn't change anything. That's young as fuck.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, definitely still young. Still got a lot of life left for sure.
Shit time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you start rapping in middle school, and then when did you actually like realize you're gonna take it serious and like pursue a career in music?
That day when I left CU Boulder in 2011.
Did you graduate from CU?
I don't know. I don't know. I like finished my major.
Yeah.
And I think I have like a Spanish class I gotta take.
Oh, Jesus.
But I consider.
But basically, yeah.
I finished.
What were you majoring in?
Ethnic studies, which is why I couldn't find a job for shit. I was just like, fuck it, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Cause like you graduate high school, and you're still this like really young person, and people are asking you like, what do you want to do? Like everyone's asking you like, what are you gonna do? It's like I don't fucking know. Like you really want me to answer that at 18? Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, left/graduated CU, and flew to LA and just started like trying to make it a career. So I'd say like 2011-ish.
Okay. Yeah. And at CU, did you play any sports? I'm pretty sure lacrosse, right? Yeah. Okay.
I played lacrosse at CU for 2 years.
Did you like walk on, or did you get a scholarship?
Walked on, so it's like club lacrosse. So like, you just try out if you're good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty much just fast. I didn't do anything else except run.
Yeah, well that's cool. Okay, so you literally flew to LA. You didn't even like.
No, I drove actually.
Oh, you drove
to LA,
okay.
With my Saturn Ion.
Damn, a Saturn Ion. Yeah. That's a smaller car.
It is super small. That's not the car I slept in though. Okay. The car got towed, and I ended up getting a Ford Explorer Sport for like $500.
Okay.
Yeah, but drove to LA and. Yeah, just started trying to make it a career from then. Okay,
so you drove in like 2011 to LA around then?
Yep.
Damn, that was already like 8 years ago.
Yeah, man. And I've been doing this shit, and I think that's the thing people don't really understand. Like you see like the people that pop off in a second, and it's like, but that's the anomaly. That's the exception to the rule. That shit doesn't happen. As much as the person that you don't see grinding for 8 years, 9 years, and then some shit pops off. So yeah, the process of this shit is like super intense. And if more artists would be a little bit more understanding of the time it takes to develop talent, I don't know what to say without sounding incriminating to you, but like we have like, I'm not gonna say better talent, but for lack of a better term, we'd have better, more kind of like put together talent instead of these people who are trying to like make it happen quick and then it doesn't happen and then they
I see what you're saying.
Develop that shit.
Okay, so 2011. So you like, what was the sole reason in like, living in your car and like, choosing that lifestyle? Like, what was like going in through your head during those moments? Like, were you like stressing out? Like,
so the stress would come from like the actual living situation of it. Like in the beginning, not knowing like what the fuck, how to live in a house. But as far as like, and I mean this, as far as being stressed about like not making it as a rapper, that wasn't as heavy as you would think it is. It was like I was confident enough in my like abilities, and sometimes so like delusionally so, because like I'll listen to some of my old shit now and be like, ugh, that's why I was living in my car. That's just terrible. But like I was confident enough in my artistry to know that like, all right, this shit is temporary. But yeah, the stressful situations was, where do I sleep? where am I about to sleep tonight?
Like,
in my car, but where the fuck do I sleep?
Yeah.
You never become so like conscious of like parking, like where to park your car until you have to sleep in your car.
Yeah, most definitely.
I can't sleep there, I can't sleep. I got so many tickets while sleeping in the back of my car because I just forgot to set an alarm to wake up early and shit. I woke up one time to a dude booting my car while I was in it. And I was just like, dude,
what do you...
like, he know you had to be scared. I just popped out the truck, like, hey. He was like, he didn't give a fuck either. Towed my car. I was like, I'm living in my car. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Ruthless dude. Yeah, so that was some bullshit, but yeah.
What are some of, like, the pros from living in your car? Like, what are some of the things that you were able to, like, realize, you know, helped you out?
For me, specifically, being alone... And that shit really fucked me up because I'll get back to your question too, because I was trying to figure out recently, at some point I was an extrovert in my life. Like I liked being out, I liked doing shit. Yeah. And then...
I've never actually really heard that. I've heard an introvert. I've never heard like an extrovert.
Like
Makes sense.
I want to be in the crowd. Like I want to be out.
Yeah.
And at some point, I think I'm realizing it as I'm telling you, I became super introverted, and I think it was when I was living in my car. Okay. And then back to what you're saying about pros. For me, it was being able to hear my own thoughts now.
Okay.
Like, like I was always living with somebody. Yeah. And when I was in my car, it was just like I'm only listening to me. Yeah. And I remember hearing it was like while I was living in my car, it was some radio show, and the quote was like, if you don't like being by yourself, then you're in the wrong company. Yeah. I was like, damn, I love being by myself. Yeah. Like, this is dope, actually. Yeah. And so I learned to, like, really be by myself in a more healthy way. Yeah, you know? Most definitely. Because when you're living with a bunch of people, too, when you, like, finally get some time by yourself, you're like, all right, I'm going to beat off or something. Like, I'm going to do some shit that's not productive. Yeah. But when you just, like, have all that time, you're like, all right, what's up? Yeah, you start really like getting deep in your thoughts. Yeah. No, I feel that. Like, I mean, whenever I slept in my car, I felt like, man, I don't know, like there were a lot of pros and cons. Like I felt like I was really focusing on my business. I had all the time in the world, but at the same time, there would be those moments like, just like, you know, getting deep within your own thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But it really allows you to just analyze a lot of your own life situations. And that was before like I had like before I knew about like podcasts and shit. So it was like silence. It was like I wasn't having any like a background noise. It was just silence. Yeah. And I just sit there. Yeah, shit helped. Okay, so you've got to kind of see the Denver scene, like, from a longer perspective than me. So, like, what's your kind of opinion on, like, the Colorado scene as a whole, as far as the music industry and, like, rap in specific over the past, like, 10 years? Like, what have you kind of seen? Like, do you think we're improving? Like, we're going down? Like, what's your opinion? I think we're definitely improving. Oh, yeah. I think we have so many talented artists out here, like crazy talented. Everyone knows too. Yeah, and I think there's like a little bit of a battle for Denver. Like who's gonna be the top dog? Which is a little unnecessary. For sure, like any of the prime example is Atlanta. How everyone just kind of fucks with each other. Oh yeah, Atlanta and Gucci Mane. Yeah, like everyone's just like it's like a team. Atlanta is a team. And then you have them elevated to a level where the nation sees them now. Most definitely, yeah. And in Denver, there's a fight to be that dude. That number one dude who puts Denver on the map. Yep. And it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Most definitely. In that fight for being that number one dude, it's hard for everyone to kind of acknowledge that number one dude because they're in denial. They want to be the number one dude, so they're going to take that shine from that. And it's a little bit of a crazy cycle that is just going to keep fucking us up. And that's why I always say it's important for people to leave, even for a little bit. Come back. Yeah. I will come back. I came back. But leave for a little bit, just so you can see how other businesses work, how other places operate. And I got a couple points to bring up about that because I've said some of the same things as far as like Atlanta goes because we actually went out to Atlanta in September
And when we were out there, we were just like, all right, let's get to work. Like, we need to, you know, network with these people. And like you said, the east side's working with the west side. You know, the east side's working with the south side. Like, every side's working with each other.
Yeah.
And obviously there's going to be little beefs here and there with every city. But, like, for the most part, like, they're working together. And they're actually a smaller city than Denver. Like, I think they have, like, about 400,000 people there. We have, like, almost 800,000 people.
That's crazy. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't know that either. I'd say it's... Just as far as population wise, and to me the city, Denver looks bigger, like the city part, but I don't know. Regardless, like, I totally agree with you. I feel like if like the top artists from each side, like, just work together, like, I don't know, I'd want to see like you and Trev Rich, you and AP, you and Rand Steez, like, man, FBP Mo, he's a youngin coming out the west side right now, like if everyone just like, and you see it happening, you're right, like it's slowly coming together. And
I think everyone's getting into it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Like, the only time, like I said, like I've transformed into an introvert, and so now the only time I'll go outside or to go out is to like support some sort of Denver art.
Yeah.
Interstate Ike had a listening party recently. I haven't been out in Denver since I came back, and I went to that shit because I want to support.
Yeah.
And even if y'all don't like fuck, and I fucked with, I don't want to say like I don't fuck with it. Yeah. Even if y'all don't fuck with somebody, it's still important to support.
Most definitely.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, and I was telling Rand Steez, I was telling him, I was like, all right. I don't know how to say this. So basically, like, I was just telling him, like, you know, like, maybe, like, basically suck up some pride and, like, invest $50 into a feature or something with another big artist out here. Like, I know you got your own moves and stuff like that, but I really think, like, a little move like that, even though it might only be $50, it would be, like, a serious movement.
And
like,
I think that's the other thing that about Denver is I don't think people understand how much outside help people need to excel. Like, there's just people who need to executive produce your project. Like, you can't be the only one writing it and listen to the beats, and you're the only one that hears it, and then your homies hear it, and then you put it out. Like, nah, like, have someone come and be like, nah, that shit ain't right. And also learn how to, like, accept criticism and shit. I definitely I've heard so many no's in my life. Like, so many fucking no's. And
Most definitely.
That shit sucks in order to, like, tailor it to the shit that I make now.
Yeah.
You know?
Outsourcing time is very important. I think people, I mean, just think about the fact that someone else could be investing time into a business. Say you guys are working on the same business while you're working on another. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's very smart. But okay, so getting back into kind of your career and stuff. So you're in LA, living in the car. Were there ever any doubts? Like, did you ever like, damn, like, should I just, you know, kind of give up on the music? Like, were you always like, nah, like, I'm meant for this, like, this is happening?
I was pretty confident in my ability to make it. Like, I think I'd be lying to say there wasn't, like, low points. Obviously, living in my car and thinking, like, oh, what the fuck am I doing? What is this shit? Like, I should get a job. I should get a real job and stick to that. But luckily, I've trained myself in, like, having jobs that allow me to still write and shit. Like, if either a waiter job, some sort of kitchen job, that allowed me to, like, all right, I'm done with that I know I'm not going to do the rest of my life. Let me, like, focus on the thing that I want to do the rest of my life. But yeah, like... Okay,
that's an interesting perspective, because I've never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, I could see you getting into, like, something that is so routine in your life, like a regular 9-to-5 job, but that would strip you of your... Like,
your true passion?
Yeah, of your, like, mental freedom also. Because you're so wired to doing... I got to do this Monday, Friday. I'm not saying you can't do it, but for me as Saxon, it was easier for me to have these jobs where maybe I'm off Saturday, maybe I'm not, maybe I got to work from 3 p.m. to 10 a.m. Or from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Cool, so I can write in the daytime. So I've mastered keeping those type of jobs and not like getting something like too serious.
Okay, that's interesting because like. I've been in those positions where, like, I don't know, like I'll get that food job, but I'm like, if I get a job, I might as well at least get something I kind of like. But from that perspective, that's pretty smart to think about, because then you might be too caught up in that job that you actually kind of like, rather than chasing your true passion.
It was literally leaving that spot open for what I actually wanted to do. There was never like there was never a thought of I'm about to go get this office job. Because for me, then it just seemed a little too concrete.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got benefits. Oh, fuck. Well, then chill. I'm chilling. Let me go home. Let me drink. Wake up and do the same shit. Nothing wrong with that, everyone.
Yeah.
For me, as
teach
a
their
person
own.
Who wanted to pursue his art, that just seemed more difficult for me.
Yeah. Okay. So, were you like, was your LA like fan base kind of growing at this time, and were you still really tapped in with the scene as well, or were you just really focused on growing out in LA and stuff at the time?
And I would still be really since the whole time I was in LA, I was still really focused on what was happening in the Denver scene. Just always focused on it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing when Trev was on Loose Quarter or the Joe Budden.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, like, that's crazy. Like I was never like that disengaged.
Yeah.
I would always see like the 5280 awards and all that shit.
Yeah.
There would always be these lists, and my name was never on it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
A little like there's always like a little like, oh, all right, well, I am from Denver, but fuck it, I'm not living out there. But I grew that LA fan base, and even to this day, LA is my number one fan base.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Denver, I think moved up from 7 to 5 since the show came out. But Denver's 5th or 6th.
Yeah, we need to pick it up. And I'm not even gonna lie. Now you bring up the list. So I don't watch Netflix. I don't watch TV. I'm just strictly YouTube, focus on the business.
Yeah.
And I'd say I'm more into like underground rap.
Yeah.
More like hype shit, you could say. So I was sleeping. I'm not even gonna lie. Like we made our list last year. Like I honestly didn't know. I didn't know I was sleeping.
And that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
But
that's why we're not bitter.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate you coming on regardless, and not like just because a lot of people would get bitter at that. Because you obviously have the numbers. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say you're like better than anyone, but your numbers speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? So. I appreciate you for coming on, and next time we make a list.
Well, I'm a Denver. I guess I'm a Denver artist now because I live here. But I was never too mad about that. I guess the only like bit of like anger, I guess I don't want to say that shit. It wasn't anger. The only little bit of like that I got from it wasn't like I'm not being noticed. It felt like I was like people didn't know I was from Denver. Like, like, did I grow up here? Like, does anyone know? Like, I still, and that goes back to like me, like not wanting to like put Denver on the map, but still loving my city. Still love this place. So, like, if I can get the admiration from my people I grew up with, I love that. I love that.
Well, I mean, my brother, he texted me. He goes, "You should interview Old Man Saxon." This was like 2 months ago, I think, when I initially hit you up. And I was like, I didn't know at the time because I didn't watch Rhythm and Flow. And then I looked up, I was like, whoa, like, he's from Denver? Like, we act like, because I know we have It's Okay to Cry. I don't even know if you know who that is, but.
Oh, like emo rap.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know who he is. Like, a lot of people have no clue, but he's doing millions of plays too. Like, it's crazy.
I didn't know who he was until someone wrote something on him, and I was like, oh, he's and he's tight too.
And going back to what you were saying about how you're like, you stayed tapped in with Denver. I noticed you were following us on Twitter too, and I was like, whoa, like he actually like is paying attention to Denver. Like he's not just too big or anything.
There's so much information. First off, for like, I'm not mad at you not knowing.
No worries.
There's so much information out there. But and then I'm super invested to see what my city does as a whole for their term to put itself on the map, but for me to show people what talent we have here.
Most definitely.
I'm super invested in that.
And when you seen, I was watching your No Jumper interview, and I seen you shout out Trev Rich. I think you might have shouted. I know you shouted Selena Powell out.
I didn't shout her.
Not shout out, but like.
I wanted her to know. I wanted them to know she's probably our most popular.
Yeah, which kind of is true.
Out,
yeah. But I don't know if you shout anyone else out. But just the fact that you brought up Denver and like the talent we had, and you told Adam that, like, it meant a lot. Because right after that, he went straight into the stereotype. Oh, white people snowboarding.
Yeah.
Patagonia this, and I'm just sitting here like, it's kind of cringy. Like, I love his podcast, I look up to him, but it's just like, damn, there's still that stereotype that people don't,
we're gonna have it. We're gonna have that stereotype probably forever.
Yeah.
Because in a way, all stereotypes have a little bit of truth.
It is true. I mean, we do got mountains and snow.
It's not it's not what I lived.
Yeah.
It's not what everyone lived.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And like, I don't know, I just feel like in due time people will realize the town out here, so that was really cool to see. Okay, so diving back into like LA and stuff, so you're in LA. Like, how did the rhythm and flow kind of come together? Like, were you kind of just networking with a bunch of people, a bunch of studios and stuff out there?
So this was once again, like I don't go outside. Like, I don't go outside. Network. I promise I would be so much. I'd be so much of a bigger artist right now if I could network. I can't. So rhythm and flow came from me being a teacher at this college in LA. Teaching rap, and my boss came with the application 3 months, maybe I'm gonna say like 2 months before everyone else got it. We got it, or I got it. Filled it out, the rest was history. But it was like some real like lucky shit. Pretty much everyone who was on that show got super lucky. Like, if you're asking for a country full of people for rappers, and you get to be the top 30 in a country full of rappers, like,
I mean,
you got lucky. And yes, of course, the talent was there. But I got lucky just getting that application.
Yeah. I mean, in Denver alone, there's, I don't know how many artists, like, rappers, not even just artists, like rappers.
Just rappers.
Yeah. And so, you and Jacob Campbell were actually on it, like, representing Denver, which, like, that was just crazy for me to even think about or see, like what? Like, but then again, it's really not surprising, because then you got Trev Rich, you know, getting nominated for a Grammy, AP's doing numbers, Kayla Ray's doing numbers, you got all these artists, like, you know, kind of slowly coming. And so it was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was really cool to see and kind of unique, but at the same time, it's like you're seeing it coming together. So
it makes sense. And I remember when I first saw Jacob in like the green room thing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to, I think, like Ali, Dominique or someone, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that dude's from Denver too." I was like, "What?"
Yeah. You probably weren't ready for that.
Like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that was crazy as fuck. But that's the thing too. I remember there was some artist up in Boulder when I was in Boulder who came to perform. It was David Banner. And he walked by and he like was giving autographs, and I said, "You know, people from Denver can spit too." He was like, "Yeah, people everywhere can spit." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
everywhere can spit. And I think the game's been saturated, of course, with the internet and anyone having the ability to put out music.
Yeah.
But like, there are some real good rappers.
Most
Denver.
definitely.
Like some real good Denver rappers.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So, talk about we'll dive back into the rhythm and flow a little bit more, but I did want to ask you this. So, obviously you're very lyrical and you're very intellectual when it comes to the rap. What, you know, inspired that? I know you said you listen to Mac Dre and like E40 and stuff. Like, what really inspired like this real rap, like this real lyrical stuff? Do you write down? Is it okay?
I write down everything.
Okay. Like, what inspired all of this?
I would say this, like I think I'm inspired by just the events that happened in my life, and so a lot of the times, like for the majority of my catalog, it is like more lyrical and shit. But I've made so many just ratchet ass songs, ratchet ass songs. They'll probably never see the light of day. Yeah. But then once I dwindle it down, I'm like, I'm about to make this album. It always. The cream always floats to the top. And it's like the shit that I fuck with. But I say all that to say, like, I'm lyrical when I want to be, but I'm inspired by like a bunch of ratchet shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Straight up.
Okay, hell yeah. Okay, so talk about the music videos a little more too. Like they're very thought out and really like what inspires you to like put out top-notch videos? Because a lot nowadays it's so easy. You can just put together 3-4 scenes on the street, you know.
So I work with this dude in LA named Anthony Hayes. We went to CU together. He worked as he majored in film. So he's just always just super thoughtful in everything that he does. And we got to a point where we made our first video, which was the ice cream video. It's like where I'm just eating ice cream for like 3 minutes, right? And it's really simple, but it's really well done, and it's, you know, there's a story behind it and everything. Yeah,
what's like the deeper meaning behind the ice cream video?
I like to leave it up for people's interpretation, but I'll say what I think it means.
Okay. Because the perils, I kind of like, I understand
really
that. Yeah. But the ice cream, I'm kind of just like...
The ice cream video, so the song is called Off My Mind, and the summary of the song is... I can get drunk and I can smoke weed. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, why are y'all fucking with me? Like, I just want to get drunk and smoke weed. Yeah. And the visual representation of that is me just constantly eating ice cream and filling myself. And then you kind of see, like, what happens if that isn't checked.
Yeah,
so I can get drunk and smoke weed, but if that isn't checked, that shit can be super dangerous.
No, yeah, most definitely.
So that's kind of the visual representation. I'm sitting there just a glutton and shit. Like,
damn.
Yeah, so that's what that means to me.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and what's funny about that is the dude who thought of the concept, Anthony, he didn't think about that either. But that's how we are when we work together. It's like he'll think of some shit, I'll add some shit to it, and then I'll have my own definition of what it means, he'll have his. But when it comes together, it's like, oh, it's a story. So all of our videos are just so like very on point that I'll occasionally want to make just some super simple shit.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of ingrained in our visuals that this shit has to be on point. Which is why there is always such a long hiatus between these videos. Mm-hmm. They cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
They take a lot of time to make. They're very thought out and thoughtful.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anthony Hayes was like, that's the homie.
That's some real like true artistry right there. If I'm saying it right.
Like, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like I talked about it on this last interview. It's the difference between timeless and timely. Like, timely, I can make some shit right now with whatever the hip thing is on Instagram with my Fashion Nova shit on.
Yeah.
Bam, here it is. But how long is that actually going to last once I'm gone?
Yeah, most definitely. So you're really focused on quality then.
Even with the perils, the video, I was telling you this earlier, like, that shit... For me, it was I was living in my car. I moved out. I got a house. I'm not living in my car anymore. That's it.
Yeah.
But till the end of time, people are going to be living in their cars. Mm-hmm. So they can go back and listen to that song 30, 40, 50 years from now and still relate to some shit I did in 2013. Like,
most definitely,
that's crazy as fuck.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, I love videos too. And that's why I like, a part of the reason why I'm doing these interviews, because like, well, now I really love Denver, you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's so much talent out here. But like you said, like, and Vlad always says it too, like, you can always go back and look at these videos, like, no matter how far out, and you know, so it's beautiful. Okay, so diving back into rhythm and flow. So, obviously you chose, like, if you didn't get that job at the college, it might not have happened. So that was a smart move. And, you know, your boss... gives you the application. So are you just sitting there like taking it serious, or were you kind of like, oh, you know, I'll give it a shot.
Nah.
I'll give it a shot.
I was not taking it seriously at all, because at first the application I filled out, the title of the program was Untitled Hip Hop Program. So they didn't even have a name for it. I didn't know who was attached to it. It was just like, okay, well, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, so it's kind of like
I didn't know what. And then before that. Who was it? I wouldn't have just done that. Someone told me to try out for The Four. Do you remember the show The Four?
It sounds familiar.
Oh, that shit was so stupid, and I'm so glad I didn't get on it. Because it was like, alright, for the audience who doesn't know what The Four is.
Yeah.
It was 4 people who were like on the show. It's a singer. They were all singers, and there was one rapper. And then there would be contestants to come, and they would sing or whatever. If they did well, they would challenge one of the 4 to a singing or rap battle. And then if they won, they would become the 4. If they lost, then the same person would become the 4. Stupid as fuck. Like, it's stupid ass concept.
Yeah.
So I was almost on that. And I'm saying all this to say, like, I remember going through the application process of that, and them, like, asking me, like, these super personal, stupid-ass questions, and me just being like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the point where once I got the Rhythm and Flow audition, or application, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
And even after I did my first audition, not the one before Snoop or whatever, like, my very first audition in a hotel, like, they were asking me shit. I cried because it was just like so much shit. And they was talking about like real personal shit. And I walked down this long ass hill and I just sat on the curb and smoked a cigarette and was like, I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to do this. Call my girl like, baby, I don't know if I want to do this shit. And
sorry, when was this exactly?
This was probably, we filmed February 2019. This was probably in November 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, November 2018. And I was just like, fuck, I don't know if I want to do it. She was like, yeah, just see what's up.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like in December or January, no, it was January, you get like a, hey, you're going to perform in front of Cardi B and Tip and da-da-da-da.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, all right, well now.
Now, yeah.
now,
you got
fuck
to.
Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, it was on from then.
Okay, so, like, did you get to meet Cardi and, like, all the judges before you walked on that stage, or was it just, boom, you're in the spotlight?
So here's the thing, is you go, like, we know who we're about to perform in front of.
Yeah.
So it's Cardi, Chance, and Tip. And we're in this green room, and the first dude goes, and the first dude was actually King Vibe. If y'all saw the show, y'all know King Vibe, he it doesn't matter. He went, and then he came back, and he was crying like, yo, I got it, y'all, I did it. And he was like, oh, and Snoop's out there. It's like, oh, what? Like, what do you
just
mean?
a legend.
Yeah, it's out there. Yeah. Snoop's out there. I was like, oh, my God. So, yeah, no, it was literally just, and that's what I think people don't understand, too, about all the people that are coming up, and they're like, hey, man, I would have killed that show.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a super, like, prepared person who has done this shit before and who is just confident enough to blindly walk on stage and perform in front of the biggest rapper, rapper in the world right now. Yeah, that shit was nerve-wracking as fuck.
I bet. And was there a huge crowd, too? So I'm just asking for perspective because I didn't watch the show. So.
There was, on the audition, I'd say maybe, it was like in a club full of people. So I'd say maybe there was like 100 people.
Okay.
In this club. Maybe more, maybe 150 people.
Yeah.
And, and just cameras everywhere, full-on production cameras. And it's also not like it's like, all right, and go to the stage, Old Man Saxon. And I was like, hey, y'all.
Yeah,
There's like a producer holding you back in this like little glass room and saying, are you ready for him? All right, and then you move to another room. It's, all right, so what, you're going to go after this person? It's like super orchestrated to the point where you think you just like, all right, here I am. And then for me, it's hard too because I'm in a character. Like I'm in a fucking character, so I'm just sitting there like telling jokes to myself and shit to like keep my mind in Old Man Saxon. But yeah, that shit was super nerve wracking.
Well, now you bring up the character a little bit. Talk about like the business suit. What's kind of the purpose behind the business suit?
I was always the suit originally came from the homie Anthony Hayes, who's just like, where I always had the old man thought in my head, which he actually came up with that name too. I always had that thought in my head, but when I first started performing, it was in a bathrobe and boxers and like a white, it's called a wife beater. That's just crazy. And then I started realizing, or someone said it was Jim Carrey. He said, just make sure, no, Steve Martin. Steve Martin said, just make sure you look better than the audience. Like, that's like an important thing. Like, make sure you look better than the audience. So started wearing these fucking crazy ass suits, and then it also just puts me in business mode. Like, super like, all right. And I'm
professional.
I'm Old Man Saxon.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see me in like some Supreme or anything.
I
need to be like Gators. Like I gotta be on point.
Yeah, and it's really unique too. It makes you stand out.
Absolutely, and that comes from opening for artists and not giving a fuck about who the opener was. But if I did see someone in a suit come out, I'd be like, oh, who the fuck is this? Like, who is this?
Most definitely, Okay, so you perform. Like, how many times did you perform in front of them? Like,
so mine was only 3 because it was the audition, it was the cypher, and then it was the battle.
Okay.
So I was only those 3. I think the maximum amount of some of the people performed was what 7 or 8 times.
Okay.
Mine was only 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you able to like build any type of like business relationship with any of the hosts outside of the show, or anyone that was like really important in the music industry? Like, did you get a lot of network from it?
I got a call from Tip like as soon as I landed back in Denver. I was still on the plane, and he called me just to be like, you know, what's up, man? Like, I fuck with you. Like, we're gonna fly. Well, let's work on some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Never panned out or whatever, which is what it is. But like, I still talking to a lot of the contestants. Smoke, D-Smoke.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll definitely get some shit, but nah. And it's weird because I feel like in a lot of the people on the show haven't really been getting hit up, like you would think they would.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a reality show still, and I think executives are probably trying to figure out how to like make money off of the music part of it. Like if this show came out, let's say like 5-6 years ago, when like the industry was signing people because they were reality stars. Like,
yeah,
you remember like even Bad Baby,
American Idol used to be huge.
Yeah, like that's what it like. Yeah. If you could. It didn't matter. Like, if you had a viral video, we'll sign you. Yeah. Now it's kind of off of that, like, a little bit. Yeah. So people are trying to make sure, like, you're still a good artist. And so, yeah, those relationships haven't been as, like, promising as most people think they would.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I keep, like, No Jumper, and I never watched the show, so I can't sit here and say, like, oh, you should have won. Like, I was watching all these other interviews. Yeah. But props to you for making it where you did. And, like... so first off, I noticed like the social media growth, like how was that with the show? Like so when did the filming stop for the show?
It stopped I think in March.
Stopped in March, and then it aired in November, October. Okay. Yeah. So did you like really see any growth until the show? Like what was it like?
Nah, it was literally I had like 19,000 followers before the show, and so it stated that from like February to October though. And then literally they had everyone is like super hyped that it was on the show. We like know what the outcome is already, and we just are waiting for it. So it comes closer and closer to the date, and it was the day before the show comes out, and they had like listening party or watch parties all around the cities that they like auditioned in. Yeah, yeah. And a dude from the show, One Take Carter, sent me like a video of my audition, and I'm sitting there watching my audition at work at this restaurant, Ashkara, just sitting in the back, and I'm watching it, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's on!" It's on. And then from that day to maybe 2 days later, because it was a weird show, it's not like everyone was just like, October this, everyone's gonna watch it. It's on Netflix. There's still people hitting me up now who are just starting to watch it. Yeah, yeah. But I remember waking up maybe 2 days later, and in my message request, it was 99 plus message requests. And I was just like, oh shit. This is real. Yeah, this shit is on. And all of them just like, yo, like dope, like very positive messages. Yeah, yeah. Which is weird on social media. Like I was expecting it to be like, oh, your suit whack. Like, man, you shit. Like, everyone was like, so yeah, that was the time when I was like, oh, it's really on. What was that moment like? Just like seeing that growth like that, like, and like how many, like, I don't know, you might not know the exact number, but roughly like how much did your Instagram followers go up over that past couple? Today, actually. So since the show came out, I started at 19,000. Right now, I'm at 191,000. Yeah, yeah. Followers. I don't even remember what Twitter was, but I'm at like 10,000 on Twitter. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that shit was, for me, when it was happening, it was like, at the moment, it was like, oh, this is cool. But it was never like, oh, y'all made it. Like, it was never like that. Because I was still just like, all right, how do I turn this into money? How do I turn this into like a fan instead of like someone who's just like a fan of rhythm and flow? Because there's still people who are just like, only fucking with me because I was on TV. Yeah, yeah. And not fucking with the actual music. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that was my thought during all of it, was like, how do I turn these people into, like, lifelong fans? Yeah, yeah. Still trying to figure it out. Shit. I mean, shit, that was only, what, like, 2-3 months ago? It was that's crazy. Very recent. Yeah. And even just, like, other countries are just starting to see it, too. So I've been getting, like, hit up from other countries, Japan and shit. Yeah. When did you decide you were gonna like go through with the album? Were you waiting for a moment like this to kind of
Or were you always just...
See, and that's the thing, too, because it was so, like... So let's just say I would have probably released an album maybe February, March, if I didn't get it on the show right, maybe like February, March of last year.
Mm-hmm.
But there was that time where we're on the show and we see Cardi B like giving us props and Chance giving us props and having these cosigns and everything. So from the time of February to October, everyone's plan was just for the show to come out. you know, like that was it. It's just like, well, let's just see what happens with the show.
Because you really don't know. Like,
no idea.
You obviously know it's gonna help a little bit, but you don't know how much.
Because we also thought maybe it could hurt us because in the contract it says we can edit this however we want to. There were people on that show who, during the audition round, they got a yes. They got a yes from the judges in person, right? And they got off, and they were happy. They probably got an exit interview and everything. And then they just never called them back. They just never called them and were just like, all right, well, maybe you'll go on season 2 or whatever, right? And then, once the show aired, they edited it to make it look like they fucked up. And they edited the show to make it seem like, nah, fuck, nah, that.
Damn.
So that shit, like, me getting out unscathed just from that was like, hell yeah. Tight. So that shit was all crazy.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay. So now, like, what's kind of your plans moving forward? Like, do you have any like projects you want to? I know you just released that project, so you're probably not gonna drop one too soon.
Another one in
okay.
April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to release another one just soon. Cause that project was the Peacock Hoodie. That's my like project I've always wanted to make. Because it was just super Bay Area influence, and that's just where creatively I grew up there. And there was something happening with the music that I was making. I just wasn't in the space to make like super bouncy hip hop, right? All of my albums have been just like almost pretty somber type of ethereal type of album. And what was good about the show and just my perception on the show was I was allowed now to create that album. And I fuck with it. I love that shit.
Hell yeah.
But now in April, May, I'll just say it and put it out there in the universe. I plan on having another more classic Old Man Saxon album. Okay. Yeah.
Do you have like a name for that yet, or?
I do, but I can't tell.
Okay, no worries. I gotta ask. I gotta ask. Okay, so, what about like shows or anything? You got any upcoming shows?
Yeah, so I'm going on tour now.
Okay.
It's like
Are you headlining it or?
Yeah, my whole tour.
Hell yeah.
Right now, I think it's at maybe 14, 15 dates, just all around the U.S. That's awesome. That shit's gonna be fucking crazy as shit.
Who are you bringing on? Is there anyone else like headlining it with you, or is it just
me?
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just gonna be crazy.
Hell yeah.
And people are buying. All the shows I've done so far since the show came out have been completely full. Just full ass shows with people on. That was the good thing about like my little time I spent on the show is people saw that I was a performer. And so they were like, all right, well, let's go. We got to see this shit. One of the things they cut out from the show is when Chance and Cardi were like judging me or whatever. Chance was like, nah, you have to see this dude live. Like, whatever, what the fuck y'all talking about, but you should see this dude live. They cut it out from the show. That really could have helped me a lot.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I think people just use their eyes and say that we need to see it live.
Yeah, most definitely. So, are you signed or are you still independent?
Super independent, and I think that's kind of, but that's a testament
awesome.
to, it's great. That's a testament to even what the prize was on the show. It wasn't like you're tied down to a label or anything, because if that was the case, the person who would have won would have been the person in second place. Because right now you see the climate of hip hop, it's not necessarily like you need a label.
No, most definitely. Independent artists are coming up. Like seriously.
So. No, super independent right now. With that being said, if I get the right deal, I'm not gonna turn it down. But I'm independent as fuck. So
what's like a good dollar amount you would consider for like a deal? Obviously the conditions have to be right, but let's say the conditions are right, you're happy with that, but you need that certain amount of money. Like that's a hard question.
Yeah. I'm not gonna answer it, but I will say that is super helpful for like just my mindset of what that number would have to be.
Most definitely.
Yeah. The terms, of course, like you said, it would have to be on point, but it's a good ass question.
Hell yeah. So I mean, have labels been like contacting you?
No,
not yet.
No,
That's crazy.
And what's also crazy
I'm surprised.
is like, so whoever's watching this, because no one has, it's a show. It was a one of its kind show.
Yeah.
Very first show, hip hop reality TV show.
That was the first season, huh?
Yeah, first season. Like so, no one knows how to navigate it. Like even from a lot from the artist standpoint, a lot from like the fan standpoint. The people that have been just hitting me up and asking me first, I was like, yeah, you hit me up. I was like, yeah, all right. Yeah, for sure. There's been people who have been like, hey, can I shoot your show? Yeah, you're the first person that's asked. Of course, come on. Yeah. So if y'all want to do some shit, hit me up. But
you respond too, right through the DMs. You're not too big.
Yeah, not too big. Not at all.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, yeah, I'm gonna ask a couple more questions to kind of finish it out. So, growing up, like, what was like one of the hardest things you dealt with and you had to overcome to like really pursue this music and like make it happen?
My dad was sick probably the majority of my like young life. He died when I was 13. I think he got diagnosed with cancer when I was like maybe 6 or something like that. Yeah. So for him, like having to see, just that kind of deterioration like of his health and shit, super hard. But the tight thing about him was he knew that he had to fit all of this information of teaching his like young boy how to grow up. He had to fit all this information into this super short window. Yeah, most definitely. And he killed that shit. He killed it.
Hell yeah.
And that's similar to rap too. It's similar to making music. Like you got to fit all this information to this super short window. And so that shit was hard. Just having to see that. There's always family shit that goes down. Yeah. But that was probably the hardest.
That was the hardest. Okay. What's like one piece of advice, like the most important piece of advice you could give for the people out there, like entrepreneurs or rappers in specific, like that you could give, like the one, like if there's one thing you could tell any artist, like what would it be?
So, I'll probably say this a lot of times, but it's find peace in your wins, like in your little wins that you have. Find peace in them shits.
That's important.
Because you will constantly be chasing something if you don't. Like you'll always be trying to. Who was that? It was Will Smith just put that out, and he was like, "Man, I was trying to be the biggest artist in the world. I was trying to be the biggest movie star in the world, and then I got it, and then I was like, fuck, but you're still like, all right, what's next? Yeah. And like I've had messages from dudes who've been like, hey, you're my favorite rapper ever. Holy shit. Like, if you really, like, think about that message, this dude, this random ass dude, who, he lives in Nebraska, he goes to work at Burger King, his manager's probably a dick, like, fuck, man, I hate that dude. He takes orders, he goes home, maybe he goes to school at a community college, he has a crush on this girl, she doesn't talk to him that much, but she's fine as shit. And he's just, like, tripping about that, and in all of that information in his world that's going on, I'm his favorite rapper. That shit's crazy.
That is crazy. That is interesting.
That is dope as fuck.
That's another.
Like, I can't take everybody and be everybody's favorite rapper. But I'm that dude's favorite rapper. That's sick. That shit's sick. So take peace in your little wins.
That's an interesting perspective. Like, I've watched some like YouTube videos about the wins, and I feel like you're almost speaking to me in a way, because like, there will be days where I'm like, okay, I just did this. Like, for example, this is a milestone to me, interviewing you. So, I'm going to sit here and I'm like, I'm going to be excited, and then I'm going to get right back to work. But sometimes it is important to really, like, enjoy the wins. And, most definitely.
Straight up.
Yeah. Okay, so when people first look you up on YouTube after this interview, like, what's the first song they should check out?
That's a great question. Because I would say if it was me, it would be Sunday Saxon. Okay. But that's not even, like, close to my most popular song.
Yeah.
If it's just, like, you want to hear, like, a classic-ass hip-hop song, then it should be The Perils.
Okay. Yeah,
most definitely. If you want to have fun, it should be On Point.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Hell yeah, man. Shit. this is a legendary interview. Like, I really appreciate you coming through.
You,
it definitely means a lot. So you're on all platforms?
All platforms.
All platforms.
Old Man Saxon on
okay.
everything.
Yeah. Tell the people where to follow you and everything.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. I don't use it, but follow me. iTunes, Spotify. There's only one Old Man Saxon.
Hell yeah, no, there is. Hell yeah.
That's real.
Hell yeah. Well, this has been a legendary interview. Shout out to sponsor today's video.
Shout out 3 a.m. hydration for the go-getters.
Yep.
Hit me up, 3 a.m.
Yeah, drink that whole thing. They're going to be excited when they see this one. Yeah, they're going to be excited. Hey, comment down below who you want to see next on the Mile High Minute. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell button to stay notified when all the latest news drop. Mile High Minute, #1 podcast in the universe. We out.